So looking at Vanderbilt, last couple times we played them, last year we were down 11-0, up one at the half. Jabari and Walker had huge numbers in that game, and it was a tough matchup for us. The year before, the COVID year, we went there, trailed for about half the game, and we were down 8 after about the first 4-minute walk. So they started very well against us both times, confident against us. Auburn's history with Vanderbilt has been, Vanderbilt's had a pretty sizable advantage in the series, particularly at Memorial. I think there were 50-18 there at one point. I know that when we won there in 18-19, we hadn't won at Vanderbilt in about 20 years. So it's been a tough place historically. Vanderbilt, really good offensive team. 4th in the league in scoring, 3rd in 3-point makes, 4th in free throws attempted. They shoot a good percentage from 3. Coach Stackhouse, a lot of time in the NBA as a player and a coach. And so he's got great sets and they run great pieces. And, they'll put 4 or 5 guys on the floor at one time that can shoot the ball. Liam Roberts, is one of the best centers in the league, leads the league in block shots. Is a tough one-on-one cover down the post. Big, strong, physical player, older player. And they're on a 4-game winning streak right now. They're playing well. So, very pleased, obviously, with our effort against Missouri. One of the things that you as we go through this new phase of the net and what that all means. Winning is obviously still matters most, but margins matter too. The fact, everybody thought that our team was really mad after the Alabama game and played angrily. We really didn't. Having played pretty well the last couple of weeks and not having been rewarded with victory, the preparation prior to Missouri, we had a battle, big guys being discouraged because they'd played well, they'd prepared. We lost close. We weren't able to get some wins done, and there was a little bit of discouragement. And but they trusted the process, and but in our losses on the road, we weren't moving terribly much. We were hanging in there as far as our math, and but the Missouri win against the number analytically, they were the number 3 efficient offense in the country. That's what moved. You ask why do we move 10 spots in the net? Because we the margin, because we scored so efficiently ourselves, and because we held them down to I think it was their toughest offensive game. So there's a lot of things that go into so much more than just winning or losing at home and on the road. And I think you guys can see that as you look at the math. So it's good. Just gonna see if we can keep it going. The league is I've never seen it they're quite this competitive. So many really good teams.
You often talk about how the defense kind of doesn't play as well with the team on the other side of in the second half of the team on playing defense on the away from the bench. Mm-hmm. How much more difficult it is at Vanderbilt with the finishes on the sideline or on the baseline, and how important is communication for the defense?
Yeah. I mean, so we'll have the defense in front of us, I think, in the first half, right? Mm-hmm. And then the offense will be away from us, and then vice versa. So it's communicate. Look, I think the ability to communicate with your team on both ends is pretty important, and I think we've seen that. So I got to remind myself to coach from the baseline the next 2 days. Just stand at the baseline and see if I can communicate with them. it's different. Can you imagine coaching a football game from behind the end zone? I always have to equate things in football terms here at Auburn, so people can understand it, which I don't mind.
Looks like Vanderbilt plays a lot more confidently with Liam Roberts out there. Are you noticing that, Scout?
Absolutely. He's a big, strong, physical player that can score, one-on-one down there by himself. He's a man hard to keep off the boards, 3 blocks a game. They'll guard ball screens. He'll be down there in drop coverage, so he's not going to leave the paint very much. And, so it's like people will say, well, fans will say, well, gosh, that offense against Missouri was really good. Well, Missouri didn't have a footer sitting there in the middle of the lane patrolling everything, right? It's about matchups.
Bruce, you mentioned earlier about how guys are getting discouraged. What was that like working through that, and then what's it been like since finishing the game off?
Yeah, well, one of the and look, I don't blame them. I absolutely don't blame them. Because it was like, again, we were playing pretty well. Just didn't close, didn't get rewarded. So it was kind of a blessing that after the Alabama game, we had to practice on a Sunday, and I got an opportunity to take some of the message I got in church and bring it to practice on Sunday. So I was preaching, not just teaching, and I honestly think it helped try to help heal a little bit.
What was the message?
Oh, it'd take too long.
Bruce Allen goes 6-7 in this last game. He's around 50% over his last 6 games. Just when he's aggressive on offense, how much better
Al?
that make you Al? Yes, sir.
Well, I think that I think the thing is the efficiency. He's shooting a good percentage, not trying to do too much, but still playing with confidence and being aggressive, not turning the ball over. Winning his matchup defensively, rebounding, just doing all the little things. They're the biggest thing that we've been focusing on with Al. And it is fun to watch him have a little bit of joy out there. He'll have 2 matchups out there. He'll have the kid that's scoring, really, really well, Lawrence, and he's a left-hander that can really score at all the different levels, and then the kid that comes off the bench, Wright, who's been there forever, right? Big, strong, physical. Kind of a 3-5, right? And so Al's defense and rebounding and physicality. Vanderbilt's one of the more physical teams in our league. And so, that'd be important. And it's been good to have KD be a spark plug off the bench for us. He's in double figures and, 5 out of our last 6 games and playing better. Playing with more confidence offensively. It was great to see him, see the ball go in for him a little bit. I thought the bench was better. I thought Trey had a great run in there. Zepp's defense, even though he's a starter, Zepp's defense was tremendous against Missouri. Lior played really well. And Chris played good defense on Kobe. And Dylan was physically a factor. Dylan almost had a double-double. So our bench was really, really good. Vanderbilt's got they score 30 off their bench, which is like 4th in the country. So it's a deep team.
He just answered my question, but I was going to ask him about bench and because Vanderbilt plays so deep.
They play really deep. They do, and it was good. And we had, part of what we had talked about was the fact that our bench needed to step up some. And
Bruce, I remember earlier in the season, you had mentioned the team chapter going in. I think it was 23rd song or 32nd song.
Yeah.
It was too early for that.
Right.
But, going to the Missouri game, hey, it's the biggest game of the year. How do you know when it's time to kick up the urgency versus when it's too soon? How do you balance that?
Well, the urgency is always there for me, and that never really wavers. It can sometimes with the players because they're young, and one of the things that there's got to be a difference between being desperate and being urgent. Desperate people do desperate things. They panic, they lose hope. That is not the formula for success. The season is absolutely a grind. And you just got to get ready to play every night and do the best you can. And so we're gonna get into another close one. And I would say one of the biggest things that we've got to do here as we start to get closer to closing out the regular season is winning a close game in the last 4 minutes, because we've lost 4 of them in the last 5. And we have an opportunity probably on Saturday.
Coach, just speak on, obviously we're going to have a big group. The Greater Nashville Auburn Club will be there with a whole bunch of alum, one of our largest crowds probably on the road. Talk about those road witnesses that will be there, and they're actually going to be giving out beads with your face on it. Or pearls, I'm sorry. It's like beads, but pearls with your face on it.
Well, it's never hard to get your fans to travel to Nashville, right? I mean, I understand some of you guys are going to be in Nashville. Is it a coincidence that's one of the nicest cities in the SEC, or is it just, our fans are no different. And so we've got we do have a great following up there. There are a lot of Auburn grads. One of the things we should be extremely proud of, and it doesn't get talked about very much, is the governor of the state of Tennessee. The governor of the great state of Tennessee, Bill Lee, is an Auburn graduate and a proud Auburn graduate. And he is such an Auburn man. He has done a great job for the state. He wears his orange and blue on his sleeves. So I hope I got a chance to see Governor Lee when we're there for just a really short period of time.
Okay.